Welcome to WakeMed Soccer Park, Salem Stadium, Cary, North Carolina. Home to North Carolina FC as Evan Laurel and the New York Red Bulls 2 in town to take on Alex Tambakis and your North Carolina FC. This game is all about securing your seed as both teams have made it to the USL Championship playoffs. You see North Carolina FC in 7, New York Red Bulls 2. They still have their eyes on winning the USL Championship East Division, but the news broke out this week. That's right, North Carolina FC back in the playoffs. They've clinched a spot. Now it's all about their seed. And hello, everybody. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with North Carolina FC youth coach Andy Tate. And Andy, how about North Carolina FC back in the playoffs?
Yeah, fantastic. Really good news for the community, the team, obviously first-year coaching staff. Just really pleased to see where they take it from here.
You say fantastic. Manny Perez was outstanding coming off the bench against Ottawa Fury FC. He made the USL Championship Team of the Week, and he starts today.
That's a big achievement coming off the bench, Dean. That just shows the boy's talent and what he can do when he's on the field. And great to see him fit and healthy and getting the opportunity from the start. And I'm excited to see him perform this evening.
If you're on loan from Celtic, you are the real deal. Meanwhile, for New York Red Bulls 2, Jared Stroud, 14 goals. This young man, electric. Another
player we're really looking forward to watching, I think, Dean, here. A player of real ability on the ball, clever, crafty, two-footed. Obviously been a big prospect for them this season.
Jared Stroud played collegially at Colgate, where Stephen Miller was inducted into the Colgate Hall of Honor yesterday. He won't start, but expect to see some Miller time in this one. Before we remind you that we're going to have the lineups and the kickoff, this is a meaningful game, but we would be remiss if we didn't send our best to the Austin Bode family, who lost Promise Isaac way too early. Promise, may you rest in peace.
Continental tires are built for the road, connecting you to all of life's adventures. Whether you drive to live or live to drive, Continental tires deliver the performance you need to tackle those adventures with confidence. Continental Tire, for what you do.
A month from now, you'll be a little older. A year from now, you'll be a little wiser. Will you be stronger? Your best is not behind you. Look forward.
Disaster can strike at any moment. But fortunately, Strategic Systems has got your back. If your data has been compromised, disaster recovery services from Strategic Systems will have you up and running in no time. Your data is critical. Protect it.
Back on the road, back in the saddle, back to the land, back in the game, back in the swing of things, back in the groove. WakeMed Orthopedics, the exceptional care you need to get back your life.
Welcome back to WakeMed Soccer Park, Salem Stadium, Cary, North Carolina for USL Championship action on WRAL2 and ESPN+. Alongside Andrew Tate, I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with you. John Freeman, the man in the middle. He'll be the official. Let's take a look at the starting lineups, Andrew Tate. We'll start with the home team, North Carolina FC.
So yeah, here we go, a strong side, very similar to what we had last week. I think the big change, obviously, Manny Perez starting on the wide right, and looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring to the 11 today.
Gee and Brotherton, Kamsia Taylor across the back. That's the starting lineup for Dave Sarakin and North Carolina FC. Meanwhile, the starting lineup for New York Red Bulls 2. And they brought in some reinforcements. Reese Buckmaster has been playing with the full team. So has Tommy Barlow, the former Hoosier and Badger, respectively.
Yeah, I think the big ones there, Stroud, Barlow, and Jorgensen, the 3 players in double digits in terms of goals. And that's going to be a real challenge for the back line of NCFC this evening.
So those are the starting lineups. New York Red Bulls, too, coached by one of their former superstars, John Wolenack. Turned out to be a pretty good coach, too.
Yeah, and I was speaking to Austin Deleuze, who'd actually worked with him up in New York, and just said he's a really, really good coach, and obviously he's really bought into what they do, and they've got a strong ethos and philosophy throughout that they really embrace as a team.
New York Red Bulls, too, we showed you the standings. They still have an opportunity to win the Eastern Conference, which you know what that means. You play all of your playoff games at home. And there's Dave Sarakin in his first year with John Bradford, Clint Piet, and Nick Platter. He's done an amazing job here with the club.
Yeah, really steadied the ship. That experience, that old head, sort of showing here with a young side, and I'm really excited to see what they do today against a very strong playoff contender here in the postseason as well.
North Carolina FC picking up those 3 big points. They were down 1-0 to Ottawa Fury FC at halftime and came back with 3 second-half goals to push their point total to 50. They thought the magic number was 51, but folks, they're in. So now, when you look at it, they've played 31 games. Indy 11 and Tampa Bay have played 31. They're at 56 and 57 respectively. There's 3 games remaining, 9 points available. You get to 59, those teams stumble, and you never know what can happen. As we are underway, North Carolina FC in their home blues, the New York Red Bulls in their visiting reds. Beautiful night for soccer at one of the premier stadiums, folks, in the country. The surface here is something spectacular. Alex Kamsia will give it to DJ Taylor. DJ Taylor, Andrew Tate from my seat, has developed into one of the best right backs in USL Championship play.
Yeah, not big in stature, but big in impact on the field, I feel. He's obviously very mobile and covers ground and can obviously defend well, which first and foremost as a right back, that's what you need.
Great to be with Andrew Tate, a coach for NCFC Youth. Spent some time with the Twin Cities soccer program, which is now NC Fusion. There's Reese Buckmaster, caught a lot of his games for the Indiana Hoosiers, as pushing forward New York Red Bulls off the effort there from Buckmaster. That's Matthias Jorgensen up top, and you're right. With Stroud, Jorgensen, and Barlow, that is a handful right there.
Yeah, I don't think it's what the NCFC coaching staff or players were hoping for today. I think they were fully expecting that there could be some changes to their recent lineups. And I'll tell you what, though, the New York Red Bulls recently, I don't think September was a good month for them. So we're catching them at an interesting time, I think, in their phase, let's say.
Yeah, excellent point. One thing you can see they're doing, I actually talked to Reese Buckmaster and Tom Barlow before the game, and basically said, what are you guys doing here? And one, they want to get minutes, and 2, like, they're taking this league serious. That's one thing I do like about New York Red Bulls, too. Like, they've been competitive from the opening whistle.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what's all the more impressive with that team is just how many players joined in 2019. We're talking 10-plus players, I think, that joined at the beginning of this year, but yet they're super youthful as well.
Here's Buckmaster. Buckmaster will drop it into space down near the end line. Good pass. Tembakis is there, and Tembakis, who 4 times this year has had a USL Championship Save of the Week. His save last week against Ottawa, which would have been 2-0, it was a surefire goal, was awesome.
Yeah, coming up big there. Far too much space here we're affording to New York Red Bulls, and thankfully it was straight at him, but he got it away from the danger, which I think was key there in that moment.
The Greek Freak, as we've penned him, Alex Tembakis. Big time save. Darren McLeod's played some quality minutes this year as well, and Dave Sarakin calling it his goalkeeper unit. He knows that he can go to either one, but Tembakis has stepped up as the top man, Andrew.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I think he's shown it and he's lived up to expectations, and there, that's a key moment in the game. We don't do well when we trail early on, so apart from last week, we showed a bit more character, I think, in that moment.
Right side over to Manny Perez. Manny Perez, when he's flying, folks, he's a different level player. Long stride, good strength. With the ball at his feet, he is dangerous. Nazmi Abadawi taking a shot.
Fans, it's time for North Carolina Education Lottery Carolina Keno corner kick. Carolina Keno gives you the chance to win up to $100,000 every 5 minutes.
Corner kick for North Carolina FC. Graham Smith coming over to take the corner. Graham Smith, when Dave Sarakin first got here, wasn't 100% healthy, and talked with Dave Sarakin, and one thing he knew is Evan Laurel, the former Michigan Wolverine, punches it out of there. Is once he got healthy, it's hard to keep him out of there. He is the ultimate piano carrier, to use an overused expression in soccer. Man doesn't get a whole lot of glory, but he just does the dirty work. You got to have a player like that, right, Andrew?
Yeah, that's probably me, Dean, to be honest with my career. I was definitely not playing the piano. So, but I certainly appreciate the boys that could play it, that's for sure.
Aaron Guillen in a foot race here with Tom Barlow. Barlow, the former Badger, where Sam Brotherton also played. They send it across, and Brotherton made the run back with Graham Smith and DJ Taylor, and it'll be sent out of bounds. We're 5 minutes in, still no score. North Carolina FC and New York Red Bulls 2.
Tell you what, Dean, just based on the opening 5 minutes here, you don't see it finishing 0-0. At least I don't, Dean, that's for sure.
I agree, 100%.
I mean, 70 goals in the locker for New York Red Bulls this season, and the players on show, and some great chances early on, so I'm really excited to see where it goes.
North Carolina FC's been so good at home, right? Short of that one loss to their former coach, Martin Rennie, and Indy 11, they have not lost a game here at home.
And they've also come up big against the top 4 boys right now, you know, the Nashvilles and the Tampa Bays, and obviously the game early in the season between these two teams where NCFC came out on top 2-1. So I think the record's, I think, 6-1 against the top 4. And speaking of Austin Blues, he said that was, they seem to play to the competition. So we'll see if they can do that tonight.
Yeah, that's so well said. Is that recent swoon before that massive win over Ottawa included a tie against Bethlehem Steel that felt like a loss. So 4 losses, but you throw Bethlehem Steel, Loudoun United, and Swope Park. They're at the bottom of the table. Those are games where you need to get 3.
Yeah, and you expect to, and I think that's maybe the problem.
Fighting through, Manny Perez looks ready to go, and looks like John Freeman's going to point to it. Manny Perez is electrifying. It'll be a penalty kick. Penalty kick, North Carolina FC.
It was interesting. I couldn't tell if he was pointing for the ball there or the penalty spot. So there, Manny Perez just showing his pace. Trickery, gets inside the defender. And once you're that side, it's always difficult as a defender. You can see those given, and I've seen them called the other way. But for NCFC, you'll take it.
Preston Killian called for the little bump. Manny Perez definitely doing the most of it, making a meal out of it, as they would say, and earning the PK. And now Donovan Iwolo will step up with a chance to make it 1-0 North Carolina FC. Manny Perez, he's got that extra gear going. I feel like we picked the right guy to highlight off the top. He earns the PK. Donovan Iwolo says it's my turn to make it 1-0. Waiting for the whistle. Evan Laurel, the former Michigan Wolverine, gets set. Evan Laurel, and he denies it. Iwolo back in. First time yes, second time no. And how about North Carolina FC?
Very cool finish there, wasn't it, Dean? Very cool. Maybe too cool with the first strike, but the composure to wait and tuck it away, very justified there, and a great start for NCFC.
I feel like he's done that already this year, where his first opportunity was denied. Break this down here, Andrew Tate.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great penalty. It's at a decent height, tucked away in the corner, but just the composure to wait, because you see a lot of people snatching that moment and sky it over the bar, but he makes up for maybe a miscue on the first one with a great finish for the second.
So Donovan Iwolo's made it 1-0 North Carolina FC. Playing the 9, that's his 8th goal of the season. That leads all players for North Carolina FC, as Donovan Iwolo gets the goal. Manny Perez earning the penalty kick, and a phenomenal start for the home team.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look so good for the first couple of minutes as New York Red Bulls cut through them and created a great chance, and some backers came up big, but they've certainly warmed up in the last few minutes here.
Great to be with you on WRAL2, locally in the Triangle and across the world on ESPN Plus for USL Championship coverage. As Andrew Tate already told you, when the big boys come into town, North Carolina FC always seems ready. Knocked out of bounds. You mentioned the subs: Victor Ikpekoy, Austin DeLuge, Yamakani Chester, Robbie Christo, Caleb Duvernay, Darren McLeod, and Miller time. Stephen Miller on the bench. This will come back to North Carolina FC and Alex Tambakis. So what do you think, Andrew Tate? Obviously, you're taught, particularly at the highest level, really, once you become an elite player, a little bit of contact in the box, you're taught a little bit to go with it. Perhaps Manny Perez did that. Yeah,
as a defender there, it's just as soon as that ball bounces, you know you're in trouble. You've got a young prospect there. He's hungry, wants to get on the end of it, and once that ball bounces, you've got to deal with it. Really, at the end of the day, the defender wasn't strong enough initially, and that put him in that position there where once you're the wrong side, just nothing good comes of that situation.
Donovan Iwolo. Boy, if you're Evan Laurel, you're like, come on, team, I'm going to make this first save. Help me out here. But give Iwolo credit. He knew that the Red Bulls 2 players were crashing down. He didn't bother taking a touch. He did the only thing he could do, and that is take a first-time shot off the save from Laurel as Barlow keeps it low, and Tambakis, like a good shortstop, gets down and handles it.
He's going to be busy tonight, Dean. Unfortunately for NCFC, he's going to be making a few saves, I think, if they're going to get the 3 points here, because this Red Bull team's got a lot of firepower going forward.
10 minutes in, 1-0 North Carolina FC. Donovan Iwolo with the 8 goals. Dre Fortune has 7. Robbie Christo, who came off the bench just like Manny Perez did to score against Ottawa, he's also got 7. DJ Taylor. Sam Brotherton, who played at Wisconsin with Tom Barlow. We'll see if those guys get tangled up at all. He's got some caps with the New Zealand national team, and he's a player that's under 25 years old, but when you talk to him, Andrew Tate, it's like talking to you. He's super sophisticated, and he's like a grown man.
Yeah, well, thanks, Dean. I'll take that. But yeah, it's some of the boys here, obviously, to play at this level, they're super mature. Here we go. Pulling that.
Didn't look like much there either.
About the same contact for the penalty, but hey.
Guillen.
I'll tell you, Dean, early on here, you can see just the press that the New York Red Bulls are putting on. They're not getting a lot of time on the ball, NCFC, but they've got to find that outlet as they have here. Now there's a good counter on.
DJ Taylor. Manny Perez. Couple step overs in honor of T. Shipolani, as at halftime they'll recognize the left-footed Thunder Capono Low in the human highlight reel. T. Shipolani, famous for that step over. DJ Taylor looking for a blue jersey. Ben Spees a step too late. And here's where Red Bulls 2 can be dangerous as well on the counter. Barlow. He goes off of Manny Perez.
Really positive start again, though, from NCFC. They can see, I think they've talked about the press that Red Bull's going to put them under, so they've got to move the ball quickly and handle that pressure, especially in the back line. But they moved it well, and then found the outlet through DJ Taylor, and then he nearly came up trumps in the box there.
Reese Buckmaster gives it up. What a story Reese Buckmaster is. He was in the shadows of Andrew Gutman, like Manny Perez with Celtic, who from the opening day marched toward winning the Mac Herman Trophy at the left back. Over at right back for Indiana was Rico, as they call him, Reese Buckmaster, and by the end of it, he was capturing the attention of Major League Soccer, and this young man has started games for the full team for New York Red Bulls. It's a great story.
Yeah, showing the depth of quality that they have in the organization, and we're just excited to see him here today.
Here's Buckmaster making a run. Buckmaster sends it over, pretty good ball. Brotherton steps up, still loose, making its way through, dangerous, still sliding with it, tight spaces, and cleared off the far post by DJ Taylor. And Andrew Tate called it. There's more shots coming from New York Red Bulls 2. They are looking dangerous, and dangerous inside and around the 6.
Yeah, certainly not where NCFC want them to be. They'd love to be defending them probably a little bit higher up here as they are, and kind of keeping play predictable, but they're finding ways to break those lines and get into some good areas. And for New York Red Bulls right now, that ball just not quite dropping, or the strike just not quite being there, and they may pay for that later on. Here you can see, yeah, great chance. Great block. Touches it on the hand there. I think that would be extremely harsh if that's called. Because ultimately just trying to get in the way of it. But you can see just bodies in the way. And they're going to need to do that all night, Dean. All night they're going to need to do that.
So we'll keep an eye on seeing the right back and left back supporting Tambakis as this Red Bulls team goes. You see Buckmaster mixing it up. Ben Spees looked like he was clipped there by Buckmaster. They'll play advantage as Aaron Guillen goes around Buckmaster and stays with it. Guillen, the most underrated player, I think, in the league. He wears the captain's armband tonight. Nobody talks about him. All he does is go out there, show up every day, and do the work.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing for him is he probably doesn't care what anyone else says other than his coach, and being honoured with the captain's armband, that's a real sign of respect and an appreciation for the job that he does.
Buckmaster, first ball, second ball, it's loose here. Wow, Jorgensen did a good job to use his body. There's Scarlett. Scarlett's got some power at that right center back position. They let it go through. Barlow knew it was coming. Good little dummy there by Lima. They pop it over the top. In again. Too many touches, and it gives Guillen enough time to close it down. It'll fall back to Lima. Lima trying to bend one around over near the Oak City supporters, but not on frame, Andrew.
No, and he's a talented player, Lima. He's created a lot of chances for them, and there was, I thought, a chance, especially his left foot, where you'd expect him to hit the target. Unfortunately for him, just a few yards wide. Also on the team, though, just you could see that NCFC was trying to press high there from New York Red Bulls, and they broke out with a great little flick from Lima and looking to get behind. I thought Barlow would have been offside if he touched that, but he smartly left it for Jorgensen, and it led to a good chance for them.
Knocked out of bounds. Throwing back to DJ Taylor. Donovan Iwolo called for the foul. Iwolo's got the goal. Penalty kick saved by Laurel, but he finished it for the 8th goal of the season for number 7. And to a man, the teammates for North Carolina FC cannot say enough good things about the work rate of Donovan Iwolo. He's not a natural 9 at all, Andrew Tate, but he's the kind of player that even late in the game in the 85th minute, when you're looking for somebody to do some defensive work, even as a center forward, he's doing it after 85 minutes.
Yeah, I think without the ball defensively, you know what you're getting from him. You're getting honesty, you're getting work rate, you're getting effort. I think with the ball, he's a bit of a bag of tricks. I think you don't quite know what you're going to get from him, but I think quite more often than not, that's turned out really, really well. And as a defender, that's hard to defend him.
Reese Buckmaster, so explosive. Guillen thought he had more time. You don't with Buckmaster. It goes off of Guillen as the hands got to stay down. As a couple times it looks like almost a handball. Pretty good ball from Buckmaster. Headed out of there by Brotherton. And cleared for safety by Guillen, and Buckmaster's been a handful here to start.
Yeah, every attack's coming down the right, isn't it, Dean, at the moment? I think that's something that NCFC will have to look at in terms of bodies and Spees and Guillen and Al-Badawi kind of getting out this side and trying to close some of these spaces a little bit quicker.
Lima trying to find Bezecourt. Now they play it forward to Iwolo. Tracking over, though, defensively in support. Knocking it out of bounds is Preston Killian. 1-0 North Carolina FC. Dave Sarakin's team, as Dave Sarakin's got the ball, he'll leave it for Aaron Guillen. And as many good things as we say about Aaron Guillen, Dave Sarakin says even more. Shot of both of them right there on your WRAL2 and ESPN Plus screen. Nazbi Abadawi. He's now in rhythm, folks. Took him a little while after coming back from FC Cincinnati, considering some opportunities overseas, big opportunities. They were one of those take a deep breath and go with your heart, and his heart led him back here, and he's finally settled in, and he's looking like Nazbi Abadawi again.
Yeah, he's back home again, isn't he? And you can see that now. He looks comfortable. He looks like he belongs here. And I think that's shown in his play.
Manny Perez winning that first one. Taken down by DJ Taylor. The only player we've not really said yet is Dre Fortune, who's another local product like Nazbi Abadawi. There's DJ Taylor looking over at Dre Fortune, and they elect not to go to Dre, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. Perhaps the Red Bulls are thinking shut down one of those midfielders because Dre's not touched the ball yet, really.
No, they're doing a really good job of kind of compressing that central area, especially when the ball's on
Here he is.
the left-hand side.
Dre's on it now. Over to Nazmi Abadawi. Takes a shot from distance, not deflected. And it will be a goal kick for Evan Laurel and New York Red Bulls, too. 19 minutes in, 1-0 North Carolina FC.
I think those are the spaces you're talking about there, Dean, in terms of Al-Badawi and Fortune getting into those spaces between the lines and causing problems. And that's the second time Al-Badawi's had an effort from that sort of range.
Scarlett, nice ball on the carpet. Now Buckmaster. This started from their center back, Buckmaster. Pretty good weight on it, but too long. It'll roll out of bounds for a throw in. We'll see if Red Bulls, too, will try to pin North Carolina FC in. I think they'll try that, Andrew Tate.
Yeah, it's a different area of the field. We haven't been out there that much. Once again, another delivery from Buckmaster down this right-hand side. It'll be interesting to see if they can continue to allow them to do that, because I worry that something will come of that.
Little flick there from Iwolo. Scarlett in tandem back there with Kilwian. These guys do not want to run into either one of those guys, Andrew. Solid center backs. Picked back up here. On it now is Bezecourt. Hard tackle coming in from Fortune. Stays with New York Red Bulls 2. Ian. Now referee says play on. Wolo kind of on an island. Does well. Checking back. They'll say he used his hand to corral that in. Pretty good effort though from number 7.
Yeah, I thought he did really well there. Unfortunately, a judge to have miscontrolled that. But that's what it gives you, that outlet, that pace, that strength, that he can hold that ball up under that pressure. Because they're going to need that today, because it looks like New York Red Bulls are going to dominate the ball. And NCFC's going to have to be smart here.
Another great set of passes. Barlow running right into his former teammate, knocked him down, and it'll leak just wide. Barlow went right through Brotherton. No whistle. They kept playing. And this is almost the equalizer.
Yeah, great combination play, ball into Jorgensen and Barlow linking well. It's clumsy and it nearly breaks from them, but that's the thing, Dean, right now. That ball just not quite carrying for them, or the strike just not being as clinical as it needs to be in that key moment.
Former teammates in college colliding here.
It's clumsy. I don't know who that's a foul on, to be honest, Dean. The referee called it right.
What a great trap from Iwolo. He is doing the work. His Fortune knocked to the ground. Referee letting him play, that's for sure. Although he did call that penalty. This is Guillen. Good touch to Abadawi. Now Spies. Spies, who likes to play more central in order to get the best 11 out there. They've got him playing wide, but you'll see Spies tuck inside and give some room for Guillen. Alex Kamsia.
There's Iwolo doing what he does best, right? Not giving the defenders a moment's peace.
Manny Perez can't quite get to it. Alex Kamsia is going to do his best Andrew Tate impersonation on Tuesday night. He's going to join me for the North Carolina-West Virginia game on ACC Network Extra. Here's Jorgensen. Takes a shot, not quite there. They'll go out of bounds.
That's a great ball back there from Tolkien. You can see they can find Barlow's feet and Jorgensen's feet really easily. And when they do that, then these sort of moments are created. Just cuts inside onto that right foot. Unfortunately off balance and never really gets a hold of it. But once again, another moment that I'm sure they'd love to have back.
Pretty smooth player though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He glides with the ball.
Young boy, but with great talent.
Tambakis bombs along again. Perez misses it. Trey Fortune gets ahead on it. It'll roll out of bounds. It'll be a throw in far side.
Here, you can see like how the play just shifts. So the New York Red Bulls really shifting across, getting compact, and the space is all on this left-hand side. So, you know, not a lot of space for Al-Badawi and Fortune, but space is there for Guillen and Spies if they can find that outlet.
DJ Taylor is going to use Tambakis. Red Bulls are flying around, folks. They're down 1-0. Penalty kick earned by Manny Perez, but as Andrew Tate told you earlier, there's going to be some more goals in this one, I do believe. Nazmi Abadawi in the effort with it. Denying the back pass to Laurel. Barlow. He's got size and speed. He won't be able to bring it in there, but to have that kind of size and then also the pace to go with it and be able to jump as high as he can, he's a good weapon. That's part of the reason why he, like Buckmaster, has earned time with the full team.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he reminds me a bit like Harry Kane in his stature and his build, and he plays off the shoulder. He's good with his hold-up play, and you know, for NCFC, they just hope he doesn't get a chance in front of goal, because obviously he's got some goals in his locker as well. But it's been a great opening 20 minutes or so here. I've really enjoyed it. I think the fans have too. Unfortunately for the Red Bulls, they're on the wrong end of it right now. Yeah,
I'm right with you. As we say hello to the great fans for New York Red Bulls too, tuning in on ESPN Plus. Delighted to be with you. Obviously, super proud of the organization, right? You think about the top club always knocking on the door, so dangerous. Really a great organization. Iwolo with Buckmaster able to clear it there with his left foot. DJ Taylor will try to clean it up. Taylor looking for options. Doesn't have a whole lot right now. Tracking back to get it. Nice work there by Dre Fortune. Back to goal. Look at Abadawi switch it on a dime to Spees. Spees got Guillen making a run. Spees! Going to keep it on the ground. Scarlett will deflect it. Now Barlow going the other way. Good work by Taylor to know that deflection was going to be trouble. He tracked back to win it. Tough ball though to Tambakis, who saves a corner kick at least. Look at Barlow hustle.
Yeah, I think he jinxed him a little too early there, Dean. It was great work until he knocked that ball onto Tambakis a little under pressure.
I did jinx him. Well said here. 25 minutes in, 1-0. New York Red Bulls 2. DJ Taylor defending. They look to find something on the far post. Nobody home. It'll be a throw in for North Carolina FC, but expect them to get pinned in again. Aaron Guillen going to take his time. As a soccer player, any level, perfect conditions tonight, though, for sure, Andrew.
Yeah, it's October finally, being here in North Carolina. You know, last week here it was 90+ degrees.
Yesterday,
yeah,
blazing hot.
Yeah, and it's really turned. So, you know, the ball boys look a little bit chilly today. I don't think they were prepared for it, but I think on days like today, especially when we're getting close to the playoffs, two really good teams on show, you're really going to see them at their best. There's no excuses with the temperatures or anything like that, or dehydration. You're really getting to see them fly around at full pace.
Barlow. Look at this. Barlow. No, they'll say it went out of bounds. You can't sleep on Barlow. You can't sleep on Buckmaster, Jorgensen, and Stroud hasn't even really got into the play yet. They have all kinds of players that can hurt you just with their extra effort.
Absolutely, and this is a real test for NCFC, I think, in terms of their concentration and focus throughout this game, because if they fall asleep, maybe the way the Red Bulls did for the Manny Perez chance that led to the penalty, then that could be the difference in getting 3 points today.
Nazmi Abadawi knocked to the ground. Bezecourt had it for a moment. Now it's Stroud. Jared Stroud. To Colgate up at Hamilton, New York. Beautiful place. As we told you, that's where Stephen Miller was yesterday for a Friday night induction into the Colgate Athletics Hall of Honor. Kept low and not hit too well. Not too dangerous there from Coffey.
It's a long way out to be shooting from, and I think NCFC will be quite pleased with them shooting from there, but you can see Barlow sniffing around running on the end of it. So there's always a chance there that something deadly could happen.
Stephen Miller got in this morning from Syracuse. On the bench and available. The only change from the starting lineup that knocked off Ottawa Fury 3-1 last Saturday. Good angled ball to Buckmaster. Buckmaster takes a touch. Too far, and DJ Taylor is there before Stroud can run it down. Manny Perez did enough to win it. Coffey gets inside of Fortune to win it back. Coffey, good idea for Stroud, but too strong. Stroud didn't like the pass.
And Coach John Wolniak here getting a little frustrated, I think, with that final delivery, the lack of composure in the final third that we're used to seeing from the Red Bulls.
29 minutes in. Second ball is starting to be won by Stroud and New York Red Bulls 2. Barlow's touch not there from Sia. Win it to Manny Perez. Perez called for the foul. Good defending on Manny Perez.
Yeah, they can snuff him out there. It'll make their life a lot easier if they stay on the front foot. I think it's a good point that you make, Dean. The second balls, even the first balls, the more those going against the NCFC, I think the more the pressure is going to build, and maybe that goal, the equaliser, will be coming.
Down the left wing, New York Red Bulls 2. DJ Taylor able to get there first on the pass from New York Red Bulls 2. Stroud taken down there by Taylor, and looks like they'll have an opportunity to set up something here now, Andrew.
Yeah, they've got some big boys, you know, at the back here in Kilvian and Scarlett. And Barlow's not short of a bit of height as well.
Saw the foul right there.
Everybody back for NCFC.
Sent in. Handled there by Tambakis.
Yeah, disappointing again, I think, from New York Red Bulls in terms of that quality in the final third. Especially when, NCFC have not been great on set pieces all season. I think they gave the goal last week against Ottawa. Especially as a centre back, when you've travelled all that way, to not get a delivery that you can attack, it's very disappointing.
Buckmaster looking for Barlow. Tambakis, top of the 18, he's got it. 31 minutes in, 1-0. North Carolina FC on top of New York Red Bulls 2. Buckmaster denied there by Guillen. Picked back up though with a little spin there. Bezecourt. Guillen will let it roll out of bounds. 31 minutes in. Dean Linke with Andrew Tate. Andrew, let's get your thoughts on what you've seen so far. First from the visitors from New York.
Yeah, I mean, you can see what they're trying to do. There's a lot of crafty play in the middle, getting the ball to the forwards, the link-up play with Bezecourt and Lima, and Jorgensen drifting off the right. A lot of balls from this right-hand side with Buckmaster, who we've talked about a lot. But for me, it's just that final ball, that final piece in the jigsaw for the New York Red Bulls here today.
Bezecourt plays it forward to Stroud. Quickly to Jorgensen. Sliding tackle from Brotherton. It'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, New York Red Bulls 2. Oh no, they're going to say off of, my bad, off of Jorgensen. Let's take a look at it here. It goes back off. Yeah, good call. As you see it right here, it goes off of Jorgensen.
Yeah, good defending from Brotherton. Going to ground, always a bit of a danger play, but he does well and gets the lucky ricochet back off the forward, which is a defender. You get back up and feel quite pleased with yourself.
That's huge, right? Huge, because you're making that tackle just for safety, and then to give it back to Tambakis and prevent the corner. Stroud is starting to fly all over the place.
Great defending from DJ Taylor there. It's an interesting matchup, those two out on that far side.
Iwolo had it for a moment, and now he's down and he looks to be in some pain. That is not good. Donovan Iwolo, such a difference maker just with his work rate that we've already talked about. 33rd minute, and waiting for Red Bulls to knock it out. They do there as Donovan Iwolo still rolling around. Now Dave Sarakin's going to tell Robbie Christo to go warm up.
Ooh. Yeah, he just catches the centre-back's leg there as he's in the air. That leads to a really bad landing. Looks like his knee, maybe.
Video schedules, tickets,
knee or
and more.
ankle look like
That's
not once but twice.
NorthCarolinaFC.com.
Just a really awkward fall for the big man there. Gives the coaches a little bit of a chance here to get together and get a few key messages to the players.
Robbie Christo. The word from Dave Sarakin is if he does get in and he does score, there is a mandate handed down by the top man, Dave Sarakin, that there'll be no mask being put on. He's gotten yellow cards the last couple times, so we'll see if he obeys that rule. I was joking with Dave, like, I think it's cool and all, but After seeing all the folks that are wearing that mask, I don't want to put that thing on.
Yeah, the days that we live in now have changed a lot. I think it was back 10, 20 years ago, we were putting those things and not asking questions. We know a lot more now, don't we?
Robbie Christo.
It's a good problem to have, though, right? Like if the problem for NCFC is that if he scores, is he going to put the mask on? I think they'd love to find out what he does do, right?
That's right. Hopefully Donovan Iwolo's okay, though, because as you see Scarlett over there, fair play, checking on him. But that does not look like a promising limp to start.
No. And his mobility is key. You know, he can't come in 90%, 80%. They're going to need his mobility. So.
So Donovan Iwolo, the trainer, has not yet indicated, but they can't wait too long because you do not want to give New York Red Bulls to a player advantage. They're tough enough, 11v11. You give them an extra player and they will slice and dice you, Andrew.
Yeah, especially with Iwolo being the outlet, you know, the key to break out the press and take the ball down the field. So I think they're going to give him a little bit of time here just to see if he can run it off.
Comes New York Red Bulls 2, and here comes Donovan Iwolo back on. He's got a little giddy up, a little bit of a limp. We'll keep an eye on him as Robbie Christo still warming up. New York Red Bulls 2. Boy, off that injury, Jorgensen was right at the top of the 6, and it was so close to being able to make it 1-1.
Yep, great ball from Lima there, the midfield maestro, playing the ball out to the left for Tolkien, and Tolkien brings the ball down in stride and delivers a fantastic ball across the 6-yard box, and just out of the reach of the forwards.
Tolkien's been good, and looks like Iwolo's done. He is down on the ground, and while the referee deals with him, we can tell you that Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com. Donovan Iwolo, his day is done. He's got his team-high 8th goal off a penalty kick. It was saved. He was able to finish it.
Yeah, it's going to lead to a change in style. Christo's not the same player as Iwolo, brings a different style and an approach to the game, so it'll be interesting to see how NCFC adjusts to that.
So Robbie Christo has been shining in the final 25. He's going to have to go a little bit more, but Donovan Iwolo is going to head out, but he at least has this goal, and this is how he earned the PK. Manny Perez got it done.
Yeah, it's been a pesky fly getting inside the defender, and once you get in that position, nothing ever good comes out of it, and the referee there, I can see why he's giving it, and then Iwolo steps up. Not a great first effort. It's a nice night for the keeper, but to keep his composure in that moment is key, and that's why he gets the goal.
Donovan Iwolo got tangled up, and his day is done. 37 minutes in. And folks, with just weeks remaining, the pressure is officially on. Tune into ESPN3 as there'll be more Wednesday night soccer on ESPN3 coming down the road. The final playoffs are at stake on October 9th when Wednesday night soccer returns to ESPN News. Tune in as Birmingham Legion FC fights for the last spot in the East, while upset-minded Hartford Athletic looks to crush those hopes in front of their home faithful. Catch all the drama Wednesday, October 9th on ESPN News. Right back to Tambakis. As you see the sub right there, Iwolo out and Christo in.
I think the concern for NCFC, not just today, but moving forward, will be how serious that injury is, especially now they've clinched that playoff goal.
That's a great point. Christo, the key will be what kind of effort he puts in here, because that has been the differentiating factor in Iwolo over Christo for the start. That is pretty well known. He needs to bring that work rate to continue to earn more minutes than just the final 20.
Yep.
Dangerous here now for Barlow. He'll give it up. Little touch over, now Buckmaster. Buckmaster, Guillen on him. Buckmaster, extra gear, lofted far side, and Taylor knocks it out to be a corner kick, New York Red Bulls 2.
You can see why Buckmaster's been playing with the first team. I mean, his quality there. Guillen's thinking, do I show him inside, do I show him outside? He shows him outside his favourite right. Tough angle, but he manages to get a real tasty cross to the back post, and I thought Taylor did really, really well to clear the danger.
Yeah, tasty indeed. It was placed perfectly out of the reach of Tambakis, just looking for a red jersey. Taylor knocks it out, corner kick off the head there of Smith. Cleaned up, Buckmaster. Send it back in. Looking for Barlow, and no problem for Tambakis. How about your thoughts on Tambakis and North Carolina FC?
Yeah, they've built a really good back four there. It's been steady, it's consistent, you know. Tambakis has come up big, save of the week last week, outlined that, I think. And today, I think Brotherton and Cancia have been very solid at the back, with DJ Taylor and Guillen being really good on the flank. So they're starting to get that consistency.
The battle between Christo and Killian, won by Killian. Whistle against North Carolina FC. Scarlett every bit as big as Christo, which you don't say that often because Christo is a giant. Buckmaster pushed to the ground. They'll play advantage. Stroud, good angled ball. Barlow drops it back. They continue to move it. Lima down on the ground, and New York Red Bulls 2. They make it look easy, don't they?
Yeah, just the rotation. I mean, you can see Stroud jogging back over to the left-hand side. Now he's popped out over here on the right-hand side, and the rotation, the movement, great. And there, yeah, just drag this shot once again, just not quite getting that connection. And I worry for NCFC that it's not going to remain like that throughout the game.
'41st minute. Beazicourt. Scarlett. Nazmi Abadawi pushed high. Evan Laurel.
Good pressing from NCFC there, forcing the ball to go along, but great ball from Laurel out to the left there to find Tolkien.
Touch there from Beazicourt. Alex Cancia. Stroud wanted a handball. Smith gets out of trouble, and Smith gets taken down. Gets right back up. Fortune. Christo. Maybe Christo would get a whistle there. He plays it back to Spees. Dave Sarakin not super happy with that back pass. Had a little conversation there with Christo. Lofted ball, Barlow. Jorgensen kept alive, now Buckmaster. Buckmaster, little give and go. Buckmaster, right back again. And North Carolina FC will certainly take that, but it certainly feels like a lot of the offense right now for the team in red.
Again, it's great areas. I think as a coaching staff, you're probably disappointed with the end product, but you're encouraged by the fact that we're doing some good things to get into those areas and create the chances. You're just hoping that sooner or later someone's going to connect the dots and finish one off here.
And you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the championship in League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home for all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Jorgensen dropping it back to Barlow. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. 1-0 here at WakeMed Soccer Park, Salem Stadium, Cary, North Carolina. The 13-year home to this franchise, originally named the Carolina Railhawks, and tonight at halftime, the man who scored the first ever goal for the Carolina Railhawks organization, left-footed thunder, Capono Low, as well as the human highlight reel, T. Shipolani, who was still playing last year. Used to call Capono Low Pazza de Leon because he got better as he aged. Probably wished he could still be playing. It'd be nice to honor those 2 fine gentlemen.
Yeah, 2 fantastic players. We saw all the comments before the game here in the stadium with regards to the respect that all the former players have. Great teammates, and what great humans they are as well.
kick. Remember, the 200s get a
So Robbie Christo, perhaps a little more soccer than he was planning on when he was getting ready today, as he gets in on the first half. Pretty much can count on him getting in, as I said earlier, the last 20 or 25 of a game. Ian. And that kind of works well for his big body. The guys are worn down. They've gone 70 minutes back and forth. Iwolo's made them work for every first ball, second ball, third ball, and then Christo comes in and gets to cherry pick a little bit and get it done.
Yeah, it's a switch from the plan, isn't it? Plan A's out the window now. We've got to adjust. I think NCFC has really struggled to maintain possession the last 10-15 minutes here in terms of when they win it, what they do with it, and Christo doesn't give them that option over the top really. So they've got to change and get runners in and around him and beyond him to give them that outlet to break through this New York Red Bulls back line.
Scarlett, 45th minute. We will have, I gotta believe, at least 3 minutes of extra time, just based on how long it took Iwolo, not once but twice. I'm gonna go ahead and get the early bid in at 3, so you can either go 2 or 4.
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go
over. Okay.
I want to see a little bit more soccer, Dean. So
I think you might be on it. I'll decide afterwards. Oh no, yeah, we normally do it for a penny, so.
I didn't get that in writing, did I?
Christo, 4 minutes of added time, having some fun with Andrew Tate. Delighted to have you, by the way. Thanks for being up here. I know you've called some USL championship games with Vista and obviously enjoy the league.
Yeah, but been mainly focused on the west side, so it's nice to be back here on the East Coast. I've always been much more affiliated, I think, with the East Coast, to be honest.
Delighted to have you for sure. As we are into extra time, they'll play 4 minutes, just 10 seconds in. So plenty of time for both teams.
The fourth official has indicated a minimum of 4 minutes of added time in this first half. 4 minutes.
Taylor looking for Christo, who gets his head on it. It'll roll out of bounds. Buckmaster will give it back to Evan Laurel.
Christo, I think, did exactly what he wanted there. And he sort of turned around and said, hey guys, where are we? You know, I'm giving you a good sniff of goal there. That's a good chance right before half.
Stay with us at halftime. As always, we'll take a look around the USL. We'll give you the remaining games for both these teams as down the stretch we go. The highlights from USL Productions, always outstanding. And we'll give you the storylines, courtesy of our great Brian Ware, who does such a great job, not only on camera, but being on top of all things USL. Certainly appreciate the extra work that Brian Ware does. Here comes New York Red Bulls 2. Handled there by Nasby Abadawi. Over to Christo. Christo playing into space. Even Manny Perez, Andrew Tate can't run that one down.
No, and that's where I think the challenge is right now. I think NCFC will just want to get in the locker room and kind of rejig some things and talk about what we need to do now. Because you can see that Christo gets the ball and the pressure's on him. They know that he's going to play a certain way. So
Barlow, what a nifty pass back across. We're in added time here. Barlow might start taking shots on his own. He's been dishing it. Shot, and again, North Carolina FC happy to see long distance shots as Tolkien hits that one deep into the stands.
I think that sums up the first half for New York Red Bulls. Good interplay, decent chance, and you can see, you know, one Buckmaster again, kind of the outlet all the time here, linking things, good touch into a good area, and then NCFC just getting bodies in the way, you know, snuffing things out. But Barlow showing his good composure on the ball and then finding the ball out to Tolkien, and unfortunately that shot skied over the bar.
Christo is fouled. And you said it, North Carolina FC managing. You got to manage the clock, both halves. If something breaks open, they'll take it. But like you said, 1-0. Go ahead and milk this. Get into halftime, see what Dave Sarakin's message is.
Yeah, because my concern for NCFC is if it continues like this, I just don't see New York Red Bulls being as wasteful in the second half. But the positive for NCFC is they've kept them typically at kind of an arm's length in front of them. They're not got behind them, and one-on-ones with Tambakas, it's crosses, it's shots and from areas that they probably expect chances to go awry.
John Freeman, a couple of words there with Mr. Stroud. John Freeman, former employee of then named NSCAA, is living his dream, wanted to be a ref at a high level, and Laurel with a high-level save as Spies was inside the box there, and Laurel needed to make that save or it's 2-0.
Yeah, it's a great chance for Spies there, and I think you'd usually expect him to score, but sadly for him, straight at Laurel and a safe pair of hands behind it. Christo showing what a presence he is in the box, and this is what they've got to get to more in the second half, is getting that ball up to Christo. Great knockdown, and Spies just stretching for it. Couldn't quite get the connection he was looking for.
Well done pointing out Christo, because if he can do that, whether it's holding it up or putting it into play to make it lively for his teammates, Dave Sarakin will take that.
Yeah, I think he was complaining about the one, I think a couple of minutes earlier, that no one had made the run. I think they were used to a Wolo sort of bringing it down and what have you, and a different approach. So
we've gone to 4 minutes of added time. Our center official, Mr. Freeman, has not looked at his watch, as staying with it. Here's Manny Perez. Manny Perez, and now we'll see if he'll take a look. Looks like he's going to let Carolina FC maybe come forward here. Taylor's fine headed to the locker room. How about that?
I think he wants to see some more soccer as well, Dave.
Yeah. There it is after all of that. 1-0 through 45. Your thoughts?
Really good game. Very evenly poised, I would say. Obviously, the penalty being the deciding factor. You know, New York Red Bulls may have some complaints about it, but I think you put yourself in that position, you're in a tough spot to begin with. But full credit to NCFC for clinging on and defending and doing a good job. But I expect a little bit more from New York Red Bulls in the second half.
The goal from Donovan Iwolo from the penalty kick spot. Alex Tambakis has been strong as usual. We'll come back, take a look around the league, look at the upcoming schedules, and get you set on all things USL Championship. 1-0 North Carolina FC over New York Red Bulls 2. Stay with us.
My son had been injured and he was prescribed pain opiates. No one ever told us how highly addictive these drugs were. My initial reaction was shock. My son didn't get so deep into the dark, scary woods overnight, and it's no straight line coming back. For parents out there who don't have hope, I realize there's a lot of families that are torn apart, but families can heal. Young people can get better.
There's hope and help at drugfree.org.
I'm Rudy Tempesta. I'm 92 years old. I fought in World War II. Then I came home, worked for the post office for 70 years. I've been getting Meals on Wheels, and I enjoy it. The most important thing about Meals on Wheels is you meet the people, which to me is fantastic. You need people to keep you moving. That's what life is about. It's love and having a conversation with people.
Protect our kids. Protect our communities. Protect our waters. Unused medication poses a deadly risk to our loved ones, and flushing it could impact our environment. There's a way to get rid of leftover medication. It's safe and it's easy. Just toss it in a permanent drop box near you. Operation Medicine Drop. What's in your medicine cabinet?
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Welcome back to Wake Met Soccer Park, Salem Stadium, Cary, North Carolina, as the home team, North Carolina FC, with a 1-0 lead over New York Red Bulls 2. Fans getting ready for a halftime presentation to Caponolo and T. Shipolani. Meanwhile, we're upstairs here. Hello, everybody. Dean Linke, delighted to be with NCFC youth coach Andrew Tate. And New York Red Bulls 2, they look dangerous, but give the home team credit for the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting half. I think very finely poised. NCFC just with that edge, that clinicalness in front of the goal on the penalty. Wolo's composure. It's kind of what's been lacking, I think, from the Red Bulls today, to be honest.
Andrew, as we take a look at the upcoming schedules for both these teams, so much is on the line because New York Red Bulls 2, they can still win it. North Carolina FC, they can still get a better seed.
And I know in speaking to some of the players, that's exactly what they're looking at. They're not happy just to get into the playoffs. It's now, hey, we want to get out of those playing games because that's not where we want to be.
Remember, New York Red Bulls, too, just 4 points out of that coveted first place spot as we see North Carolina FC their final 2 games. These are the final 2. Those are winnable games for New York Red Bulls, too.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing for them. They can win a game against anybody, and they'll be hoping to get some momentum back now going into the playoffs, because September was just not a great month for New York Red Bulls, too.
This is game 32 for both teams as they play 34. So you see New York Red Bulls 2. Pittsburgh, they haven't lost a game since they got trounced here at Wakeman Soccer Park, and they don't even let any goals in. They got 61 points. Nashville sitting at 58. North Carolina FC at 50. They'd like to jump at least a couple, see if they can chase down Martin Rennie and Indy 11. T. Shipolani being recognized right now. There's Steve Malik to his left, Kurt Johnson as well. Capono Low also being recognized. USL Championship better than ever. As you see Capono Low, let's take a look at the highlights from last week, USL Championship style.
Long range effort, oh, that's spectacular! From distance, and it's a goal! That's a great save, Van Oekel. That's it for Hartford Athletic! Hamilton back out wide. Chance to put this in the penalty area. Chance, a goal! Devin Sandoval brings them to their feet in Albuquerque. A minute to play. Dia puts it in. Desperately headed away. Shot comes in. It's 2-2. Oh, can you believe it? From 2-0 down, Phoenix are level. Making the run, Mo Hernandez, edge of the box. Hernandez, great move, gets free. Hernandez! Gives NCFC the lead.
I told you the big man was feeling it tonight. Rolling to the middle.
Oh, good shot! Goes right, gets the shot away, score! Nowhere to go for Lorendi. Back in the middle looking for Cox, trying to set up a shot, and it finds the corner! We're level at 2, and all of a sudden, game on here in Tucson. Puts this in the middle, looking for Ramos. Bingo! It's off the hands of Hara and in. The opening goal for Toronto FC 2.
Moafe lofts it. Boateng on the run. Boateng back in the net. Charles Boateng is first in league play.
To send it in. Headed away, couldn't get by the first man. Bermudez might come away with it, and he does! And there's nobody in goal! Greenville are going to score, and they're going to the playoffs! Greenville and Chris Bermudez!
Capono Low, left-footed thunder, the human highlight reel wearing the ball cap. T. Shipolani, Kurt Johnson, the president general manager for North Carolina FC on the right. Steve Malik, the fine owner of North Carolina FC on the left. Big smiles, 2 great players that wore the Carolina Railhawks and North Carolina FC jersey with pride.
Yeah, great to see a club honoring 2 players that really helped the organization move forward.
All right, take a look here at the team of the week. Gordon Wild, who starred for Maryland, getting it done for Loudoun United, scored the club's first ever hat trick in their win over Swope Park. Canardo Forbes, though, perhaps the best of the lot. You saw his goal, scored 2 goals in their 3-0 win over Indy. Kyle Morton, also from the Riverhounds, with 3 big saves. Our own Manny Perez off the bench, getting it done as well. Joey Calistri, Enzo Martinez, also really good. That's your USL team of the week. and take a look at some of the storylines. Great to have Union Omaha. This USL Championship and USL League One just keeps getting bigger and better.
Yeah, it's a great organization, I think, to get involved in, and I think you can just see the leagues growing, and there's lots of positives coming.
It's a fortress in Indy, but when they go on the road, they are really struggling as Martin Rennie's team trying to figure out how to win on the road. And Atlanta, too, they're out of it, but they're knocking off teams and playing the spoiler role. The two teams here tonight, though, New York Red Bulls 2 and North Carolina FC, they're both in the playoffs. North Carolina FC would love 3 more points and try to continue to climb the USL Championship ladder. Take a look around. Look at Pittsburgh. They got smoked here, 5-0. They haven't lost since.
Yeah, how did they get to the top of the pile? But that's just how competitive the league is. There's so many teams in there on any given day can get a result, but full credit to the rebound.
Indy 11 with a 2-0 lead as well. And Caponolo and T. Cipollani both getting their jerseys. Look at that. Beautiful. 1-0 North Carolina FC at half.
Continental tires are built for the road, connecting you to all of life's adventures. Whether you drive to live or live to drive, Continental tires deliver the performance you need to tackle those adventures with confidence. Continental Tire, for what you do.
A month from now, you'll be a little older. A year from now, you'll be a little wiser. Will you be stronger? Your best is not behind you. Look forward.
Disaster can strike at any moment. But fortunately, Strategic Systems has got your back. If your data has been compromised, disaster recovery services from Strategic Systems will have you up and running in no time. Your data is critical. Protect it.
Back on the road. Back in the saddle. Back to the land. Back in the game. Back in the swing of things. Back in the groove. WakeMed Orthopedics, the exceptional care you need to get back your life.
Welcome back to WakeMed Soccer Park, Salem Stadium, Cary, North Carolina. Folks sending pictures around of Caponolo and T. Cipollani. Special recognition for those two stars of this organization now in their 13th year. It's 1-0 at the half. Welcome you back up here to the perch. Dean Linke with Andrew Tate. And first off, let's put an exclamation point on Caponolo and T. Cipollani. That was special at the half.
Yeah, always nice to see moments like that. You can see how much the players appreciate being recognized, and the organization just kind of bringing it back and saying, hey, we really appreciate everything you've done for those 8-9 years that you were with us.
Before we show you the highlights, what's the message from John Wolyniec for the New York Red Bulls 2?
It's a great question. Yeah, I think for me, look, we've got to be more composed in those key moments, and we've got to be more ruthless. You know, we're not going to keep getting these opportunities, and we can't be wasteful. So I think a little bit more composure and a little bit more on the front foot. Let's get after them, you know.
And Dave Sarakin's 15-second message.
Dave, I think it's going to be, we've got to work with Robbie now. It's a different sort of message. For me, I'm looking to get Manny Perez maybe a little bit closer to Robbie and kind of getting that pace in behind again. But you're going to have to be getting bodies on the line again.
All right, let's put this man to work and show you the highlights here in the first half. Take it away, Andrew.
Yes, an unbelievable start here for New York Red Bulls. Chance within the first 2 minutes and a fantastic save from Tambakis. But there's chance after chance for the Red Bulls, and they just didn't quite get that killer touch or that final pass. And then here's the ball that Killian just doesn't deal with, and Manny Perez nips in, gets the wrong side of the defender, and then gets the call from the referee, right or wrong.
Alex Kamsia, great ball to Perez, and Perez did the rest, and then Iwolo denied the first time and then the finish.
Yeah, he wasn't denied the second time. Great composure. If that's your ID, we're skying that over the bar and holding our heads, but great composure to take a breath and finish coolly.
Well said. New York Red Bulls, too, kept coming, though.
Yeah, they did, but full credit to NCFC. You can see they're getting bodies in the way. It's not clean looks at the goal. But I think the interplay has been fantastic from the Red Bulls. Just when they get in that box, it's a little wasteful. It's not the snatching at things that maybe that September run sort of playing on their mind a little bit.
Kamsia, who had that great pass to Manny Perez, and then Christo got his head on it. Ben Spies, he'll finish that 7 or 8 out of 10.
Yeah, and that was a chance right at the end of the half where you're like, that could have really put a dagger in NCFC, in the Red Bulls.
You see the stats right there, 13 shots, that's about right, to 6 for North Carolina FC.
And the key for me is the 3 on target. Sam Barkis is, he's made a couple of saves. He made a fantastic one last week, but today I don't think he's really had to do an awful lot that I wouldn't expect him to do.
Just one yellow card, corners are dead even, possession almost 60-40 for the Red Bulls. That seems about right too.
Yeah, I think the game sort of planned out. I think the way both teams probably saw it was going to go. Dominate the ball, but I think the chances is where it's key, and that's goals win games.
All right, we told you earlier the subs for North Carolina FC. Victor Igbekoy, Austin Blues, Yamakani Chester. Robbie Christo is already in, so Dave Sarakin has 2 more. Caleb Duvernay, Darren McLeod, and Stephen Miller. Rashid Nuhu, Alan Yanis, Dennis Luby, Kyle Zasik, Sean McSnary, Ben Mines, and former Maryland star Sebastian Ilney also available. John Freeman, the man in the middle, ready to go. Both teams back out here to start the second half. Alongside Andrew Tate, I'm Dean Linke. Great to be with you in the Triangle on WRAL2 and worldwide on ESPN+. Second half underway. New York Red Bulls 2 in red. North Carolina FC in their home blues. Stroud. New York Red Bulls 2, as we showed you in the highlights, within the first couple minutes, were dangerous. 46th minute. Scarlett. Problem for Guillen. Nasby Abadawi. Side of the foot, Spies. Christo. Christo. Falls to the ground, but did enough to earn the throw-in. Well done, Robbie Christo.
Yeah, and he's going to have to do that a lot today. Get things out of nothing. He's going to be up there, a bit of a lonely man at times, I feel. But if he can get throw-ins, get corners, get free kicks, then, who knows, Robbie Christo could be wearing that face mask, or maybe not.
He and Preston Killian will go at it for sure. Been a big week for soccer in North Carolina. A couple nights ago at Bank of America Stadium, USA and South Korea, the women with a ton of North Carolina Courage players getting some action. Of course, Crystal Dunn, Samantha Mewis, Abby Dahlkemper started for the USA for that World Cup title, and Jessica McDonald, a fan favorite as well, getting some action.
Yeah, North Carolina Courage really well represented once again on that national team roster.
47th minute. Speaking of the North Carolina Courage, they'll be here next Saturday, October 12th, for their final regular season home game. Come on out and see what might be the best women's pro team in the world. They lost only 1 game last year. They won the Shield 3 years in a row. They are just fantastic.
Yeah, they're a team kind of like the Red Bulls, a little bit more expectation on them, I feel, than maybe NCFC in terms of the position in the league. The pressure's on after winning last year.
What a touch there from Manny Perez. How did he keep that in? Manny Perez earns a corner kick. Manny Perez, he's got the extra gear, hasn't been healthy all season long. Able to track it down, keep it in, and then earn the corner kick.
Yeah, Manny Perez, you're not going to want to see him in this position very often, but there does really, really well to make something of nothing. Keeps it in and then wins a good opportunity for his team.
So now a corner kick for Graham Smith. Graham Smith. Driven in, pretty good ball, Christo! And what a save by Laurel. Christo hammered it thought for sure he was going for the mask. It looked like it was going to be 2-0. What a save from Lauro.
Absolutely.
Right back again.
2 really good looks there for North Carolina FC.
Wow.
I don't know where that save came from, Dean.
Evan Lauro played for Shaka Daly at Michigan. There's a lot of Big Ten players for both teams. There's 3 Hoosiers on the North Carolina FC team, let alone Buckmaster playing for Red Bulls. When you think about Tim Mel, Austin Pancho, and Rennings. How about this shot right here from Christo with his head?
Yeah, just fights his way through a crowd, meets it brilliantly, and that stretched left paw of Lauro just brilliantly clears the danger.
Wow, that's a heavy hand right there. Going the other way. North Carolina FC, Manny Perez looking for options, goes back to DJ Taylor. Now Smith. Smith, who played for George Kiefer at USF. Kiefer now top man at NC State, where Nazbi Abadawi played. Abadawi! Oh! Christo! And how about North Carolina FC? 2-0. Abadawi to Christo! No mask.
No, there you go. But that was absolutely brilliant. You could just see there, Al-Badawi popped up between the lines. He's onside, picks his head, buys his time, and then finds Christo, who just kind of avoided some defenders by pulling out, and then he squeaks it in at the near post with a really clever finish. Didn't have a lot of room to work with there.
How about that? Almost had one with his head. Tough angle to try to beat Laurel near post, and Christo now has 8 goals. Iwolo has 8 goals. Make no mistake, goals per minutes played. This guy's off the charts because he hasn't started many games and hasn't even played in every game, but he's got a team-high 8 goals with Iwolo.
Yeah, as a coach, that's all you want. You want results, you want numbers, and I think that's what John Wolniak is praying for right now, is that clinicalness in that final third. The NCFC's had that tonight, and New York Red Bulls hasn't quite had that punch to them.
Abadawi had Taylor open. You can see Abadawi acknowledging Dave Sarakin that the better play was to give it to Taylor and then try to find Perez. An ambitious pass there from Abadawi, but when you're as good as Nazbi Abadawi, you're allowed to have 1 or 2 wrong moves. At least that's my opinion. Here's Abadawi, so clean, such a solid citizen, fantastic young man. Here's Manny Perez. Manny Perez. Over to Dre Fortune. Fortune better with all the confidence that Dave Sarakin has showered on him, and it has been a turnaround campaign. As Fortune was in the doghouse of Colin Clark, his confidence wasn't there, and now the kid's playing like a superstar. Flag stays down as Abadawi running it down. Manny Perez is there, but so is Laurel.
NCFC come out really well this opening 6-7 minutes here. Got the goal, and it's going to be really interesting to see how New York Red Bulls 2 responds now.
Nobody home there. It's a different half. I mean, which is crazy when you think about the score was 1-0, but we showed you the stat line. North Carolina FC, I think even Dave Sarakin would admit, lucky to have that lead, but second half, different story. North Carolina FC has been the better team here in the first 7 minutes.
Absolutely, and they're on top, and they look confident and composed. They've got something to protect now. I think the one worry in the first half was the ball retention, especially when Iwolo went off, but you can see now they've got the confidence. They're getting runners off Christo, and now there's going to be more question, I feel, asked of New York Red Bulls too.
You look at the goal scores on the season. Sam Brotherton got his 3rd against Ottawa. Austin DeLuz in limited time has 2. Iwolo's got 8. Dre Fortune has 7 goals. Marius Lomas, who was the star of stars to start the season, we forgot that he broke his foot. He may be back, by the way, potentially for the playoffs. That'd be like picking up a late free agent if Lomas can come back. That could be big as Abadawi tries to find Christo. Spees has a couple goals. Yamakani Chester, a bolt of excitement. He's got 5. Christo with 8. Abadawi with 3. Tommy McCabe, who's no longer with the team, back at FC Cincinnati with a couple. And actually, Stephen Miller, with all due respect, I was saying that Iwolo and Christo have the team lead with 8. Stephen Miller wearing that number 31. He's got 9, so I stand corrected. Miller time 9 times over. He's the team high leader, but Iwolo and Christo just one behind him.
Yeah, sharing the goals around. I think that's a really good thing as a coach. Is when the opposition comes and if there's one guy with all the goals, you shut him down or shut the supply down to him. But to share it around, it shows a real good team ethos and a real philosophy behind the club.
Aaron Guillen. Guillen staying with it. Overlapping run from Fortune. Gives Spees time. As we told you, Spees likes to come inside. There's Graham Smith to Manny Perez, and a foul against Manny Perez as he goes down.
I'll tell you though, Dean, I do really like the NCFC's approach in the second half, in that they're not just sitting back and protecting what they have. They were getting on the front foot and they're applying the pressure early on, and obviously got the goal. It'll be interesting to see if they can keep that and sustain it.
Ooh. Perez, lucky he didn't card there, as he got all of the ankle.
Yeah, thankfully Tolkien's up and moving about and looking like he wants to get in the attack here. So
Tolkien wearing number 47. So Stephen Miller, apologies, I forgot about your 9 goals with you being inducted in your College Hall of Fame and everything. What a season he's had, because he's got 6 assists to go with those 9 goals, and he may get a run here.
Yeah, he's warming up pretty aggressively over in that corner there, Dean, and I don't see too many other NCFC players out and about moving, so could be signs that he may be entering soon.
I'm surprised they're letting him warm up without a different color on over there.
It's Miller time, though. He does what he wants.
I like how Andrew Tate's fitting right in. Tolkien giving it up. Over the ball is Lima. Now Stroud, who, as we told you earlier, went to Colgate just like Stephen Miller a few years after Stephen Miller. As Miller, experienced player. And a little bit of collision over near the 4th officials table. There's Kilwian and Manny Perez.
All good over here.
Manny Perez giving you glimpses of what Celtic saw, right? I mean, that's the best way to say it.
Yeah, really young boy, but you can see what he's all about. That pace, that directness. He's a real thorn in the defender's side. And the frustration showing now for New York Red Bulls, not feeling like they're getting the calls, not feeling like they're getting the run of the play. And something needs to change really in their favour, or someone needs to step up here and kind of grab the game, because it could be drifting away from them.
I can tell you, Andrew Tate, as a young lad growing up, wondering if Celtic would ever give you a look. I can officially tell you that they do look in on these games. They have to, just as they keep an eye on Andrew Gutman for FC Cincinnati. So when you thought FC Celtic wouldn't give Andrew Tate a look, you were wrong.
Yeah, well, no, well, they did, and then they realised that they didn't need to. Yeah. But yeah, it's a worldwide game, isn't it? I mean, you can find quality players in any corner of this country, the world, especially in this country.
Look at Manny Perez dancing with it. Oh, man. They'll call Perez for an extra little foul there, but he is feeling it. He's starting to use the bag of tricks here.
Yeah, and it's a good position to be in on the break as well. They can sit and defend and then use his pace as an outlet to really get in behind the New York Red Bulls too, as they push for a goal back.
Stroud, 14 goals on the season, nobody home. We walk you up to minute 58.
And Stroud, a player we bigged up before the game, didn't we? And he just hasn't quite come to the party tonight for him. We've seen more of Barlow, maybe a little bit more of Jorgensen, and John Molniak, I think, just having a little chat with Stroud there, just saying, come on, I expect a little bit more from you in those situations.
The final playoffs are at stake October 9th when Wednesday Night Soccer returns to ESPN News. Tune in as Birmingham Legion FC fights for the last spot in the East, while upset-minded Hartford Athletic looks to crush those hopes in front of their home faithful. Catch all the drama as it unfolds Wednesday, October 9th on ESPN News. Christo cutting back. Christo's got Spees. He'll square it. Guillen making a rare run, and Guillen decided to crank it after making the run, but right into the back of a red jersey.
I think that was one where you wanted the pass across there to find Dre Fortune for Guillen on the outside. Instead, I think they just skipped a beat there.
So just like that, New York Red Bulls 2 back on the attack. They've got to be now down 2-0, 1-0 at the half. But Robbie Christo, who came on in the first half for the injured Donovan Iwolo, who scored the first one. Christo tying him with 8 goals, not the team high, one behind Stephen Miller. Bezecourt. Graham Smith got a little touch on it. Right now, very compact defense, good high line at the top of the 18. Kamsia and Brotherton in unison, directing traffic back there. That's a young back line in Brotherton and Kamsia. Kamsia right out of UNC, where he played in multiple college cups. Brotherton left early from Wisconsin. This is loose, and there is Kamsia, who will clear it.
Yeah, and I could see Lima just getting free there in that space, and they almost found him. As a play, you've got to keep your eye on.
This is Lima on it. Stroud now. Stroud turning. Quick little ball. Dangerous. Cleared out of there by DJ Taylor. Scarlett. Coming back to get it. Stroud. Barlow. Barlow. How about that? You go against each other every day in practice in college. Now on this stage, just one level down from Major League Soccer, you go toe-to-toe against each other for real.
Yeah, bragging rights right there.
Yeah, Tolkien, good header.
It's a good little spell here for New York Red Bulls too. In possession, showing a bit more confidence, getting a bit more movement off the ball. And a real question for NCFC, can they weather this and get back on the front foot?
Boy, Lima and Stroud have been on the ball a lot. Stroud, good cutback in front of Manny Perez. What a ball. It'll hit Guillen, it's still loose, deflected, and Tambakis. How about that composure? Do I punch it? Where am I? Am I on the line? I'll just bring it in.
Yeah, unbelievable. Graham Smith with a really key block there. But great composure out wide there from Lima, cutting back onto his right foot, delivering a great ball in. The header a little bit too close there to comfort. Bounces back off Guillen, and there you see what a great block from Graham Smith there, just denying that clean contact on goal, and Tambakis not having to make the big save that we know he's got in his locker, but we've got to keep him quiet.
Good balance of his body right there. He knew that his back foot, Andrew Tate, was going to be going into the goal, but the key is keep the ball in front of the line, and that's exactly what he did.
It's time for another Alpaca free kick. Remember the 200 section. It's a buy one, get one half.
Coffee. His team down 2-0, and I will say this, Andrew Tate, these first 16 minutes have flown here in the second half.
Yeah, we kind of limped, I think, to halftime, didn't we, with just some of the chances, the injury for Iwolo, the kind of disjointedness in the play. But yeah, this first 16 minutes have been really entertaining, and just seeing NCFC be a little bit more on the front foot and asking questions, and then New York Red Bulls there coming back and kind of answering with what they've got in the locker.
New York Red Bulls 2 finishing their regular season on a 3-match road trip, which begins tonight here in Cary, as they're looking to bounce back after suffering a draw at home against Charleston. Freeman in the way a moment there. Smith battles for it. One back by Stroud. Stroud thought about cranking that one. Sent in by Tolkien. Coffee. John Coffey now to Lima. Lima. Barlow touches it into space. Right back. Lima. Tolkien again. Back to Lima. Lima. Alex Kamsia. Manny Perez. That's how you do it right there, folks.
Yeah.
Christo is on. Robbie Christo. Christo with power. Little touch. Cuts it back. Robbie Christo. Denied there by Laurel. Christo wins it back. Gives it to Nazmi Abadawi. Abadawi looking for options. Christo's going to take a shot, and Laurel has got to parry it away. Corner kick. Corner kick. North Carolina FC.
Yeah. fantastic play there. Robbie Christo wasn't even looking at the ball, he knew it was coming, bulldozes his way into a great position, and then he's just twisting and turning, trying to find that finish, but Loro does well to stay big, and unfortunately for NCFC, the best chance was gone, I feel, there. He does well, though, in the end to squirm a shot or parry it wide, but I felt he could have maybe done a little bit better. He made that one look a little bit better than I thought it was, to be honest.
Christo, you're right, bulldozer, but he showed some soft feet right there. As he had Scarlett hanging on him. Good little cutback for sure, Andrew. And Laurel with that great first save, kind of not as clean on that second shot from distance, but he's got it anyway. 64th minute, as we are going to have some Miller time, as promised. Stephen Miller will check in the next opportunity. He with the team high 9 goals.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see who he's coming in for, to be honest here, Dean. I'm not quite sure where that change is or what they're looking to freshen up, but obviously a player with real experience and real quality that can hopefully help them get over the line.
Fortune looking for Perez. Going to make you call who he's going in for before they show you. You got to pick one here. Lima.
I don't want to say it because I feel it's going to be Perez, to be honest, but he's a player that I want to continue watching. So
I like that.
Yeah, you know, that's where my heart's leading towards. But the coach and me being pragmatic, and maybe they're saying, you know, let's take the young boy out here and get a bit more experience, and he's done his bit, so to speak.
Yeah, well said. 65th minute, and he's been bothered by injuries. I think you might be spot on, Andrew Tate. No, it's going to be Ben Spies, so we still get to see Manny Perez. It'll be Ben Spies, who, that makes sense too, because Ben Spies is not really a wing player, so now you have 2 wing players, so you can use Perez on one side and Miller on the other.
No, I could agree wholeheartedly. I'm not excited by that change. Not that Ben Spies has anything wrong. I think some fresh legs. Ben Spies is a little bit more used in the middle, and Stephen Miller's going to give him a bit more legs maybe out there, and especially as they're going to defend for the next 25 minutes here. I think a good portion of it.
Dave Sarakin, John Bradford, Clint PA, Nick Platter, all with hands out for Ben Spies. As Stephen Miller, congratulations, young man, on being inducted into your College Hall of Fame. That is something that they can never take away from you. Abadawi over to Christo. Christo.
Substitution, and also in the 65th minute.
Give Christo credit. He has looked clean. He's had the effort. He's got a goal, dangerous shot, another dangerous shot. He's been very good in extended minutes here.
We talked about Awolo being a handful. Well, Christo, I think 2 handfuls, isn't he? But and he's a bag of tricks too. That's the hard part. He's not just a big battering ram. It's the craftiness and the guile on the ball as well.
Turnover here. Stephen Miller cuts in to get it. Miller over to Smith. Smith probably doesn't get enough credit either. Taylor now. Abadawi. He's got Perez. Good ball. Great ball. Perez can get there. Anybody home? He almost did like an informal Olympico and just slid it in there.
If that goes in, Dean, then wow.
Right?
Yeah. It was almost a tribute to his cross last week, the scoop. He just didn't quite have the loft on it. The drift was there instead this time.
67th minute, 2-0. Perez slides back on defense to win it for Taylor. Uh-oh, now he comes up limping just a little bit. That's been part of the story. As here's Taylor.
Great work rate from the young boy, though, getting all the way from back there to get back and help.
Good job by Perez to stay still as Taylor does go forward. Oh, almost a potential own goal. Dangerous. Good job defending, coming back there. New York Red Bulls too, and Alex Tambakis almost to midfield.
Scarlett with a very important big toe there on the end of that to avoid that cross finding Christo.
So Laurel will roll it out of the back. 2-0 North Carolina FC on top and looking good. '68th minute. Lima. Giannis, the sub, is into the game wearing 37. From LA, played professionally in Guatemala, and that'll go off of Perez and a throw-in. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Scarlett. The line is 20 yards out right now by North Carolina FC.
Yeah, really well marshaled. He comes here trying to get the line up a little bit. He sees they're sitting a little bit deep, but they've been very well focused, very concentrated here. But here we go.
Great square ball. Shot there from Lima. A perfect pass right at the top of the 18.
Yeah, once again, it's another half chance that goes away from target. Tambakis doesn't have to make a save. But it's that link-up play again from New York Red Bulls, the stuff that they're well known for. And Lima, who's got a fantastic left foot, just not getting the contact and the connection that he hoped for.
Great look. Great crew, as always. Kyle Lang brings his A-team. Joe Ferrara, Savannah Rebel, Colin Thrash, Ian Lang, Brian Ware, Chris Walsh, Curtis Adams, Peter Summers, Tim Arms. Well done to each and every one of you. Not just this game, but truly all season long. It's been a pleasure to be with you here at WakeMet Soccer Park, Salem Stadium, Cary, North Carolina, home to North Carolina FC and the North Carolina Courage. And here in this one, with just 3 games remaining in the regular season for Dave Sarek and his team on top, 2-0, 70th minute.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic performance from NCFC. I think they've had a bit of luck at times, but I think for me the really impressive part has been their second half performance. I thought the first half they were good. Second half I think they've been really, really good in terms of offering more going forward, being better on the ball, and really kind of limiting what New York Red Bulls have to offer.
Great to have the wisdom of Andrew Tate with us.
I mean, this is a team that scored 70 goals this season, and they're looking a little toothless in front of goal at the moment.
Well, you've got some impressive stats that you dug up on short notice.
I didn't want to jinx NCFC.
You can bring it now.
We want to make a good game of this, don't we?
Yeah.
So I'll throw them out there. Yeah, just in terms of the scoring first, NCFC has won 12 and drawn 13 of those 15 games. So that's a pretty good record, I would say, in terms of scoring first. So they've done that today. And New York Red Bulls are in a different position. So if they can pull this out to put a loss on there, I'll be impressed. And then the other one is just in terms of leading at halftime. They're 10-0-2. So never lost when they've scored first or leading at halftime, Dean.
I love it. Well done. And who doesn't want to hear that said with an English accent as well? Just outstanding.
I think the New York Red Bulls too, to be honest, Dean.
Yeah, well said. There's Buckmaster. 71st minute. Buckmaster was so electric in the first half, and well, you give Dave Sarachan a halftime, and we got the best seat in the house, don't we? You're kidding me? Right on the 50, but you're seeing it, right? Buckmaster did everything he wanted, Andrew Tate, in the first half. We barely said his name in the second.
Yeah, full credit to them. They've adjusted. They've snuffed it out.
Hard tackle from Fortune. Stroud is open. In fact, 2 open, I think. Nobody closed on him, and he had a good look.
I mean, you can't defend everything. I think that's the challenge. As coaches, we want no shots, no chances, but you can see here, look at the bodies in the way. They're really getting in the way. They're committed. They're not giving the players the space and the time on the ball. And if they do give them space and time, it's from an awkward angle or a difficult position on the field. Which you're asking the player to then really pull up the quality of an MLS player, which is where those players are hoping to get to.
Scarlett. John Wolinak's going to make another change when he gets an opportunity. He may see a goal scored here. That's a nifty ball. Barlow is in. Oh, no. Are you kidding me? Barlow, Tambakis was frozen. Barlow with a great turn. Hit the post and just unlucky here.
Yeah, Barlow doing what he does best. The big body holding off Brotherton. I think it actually comes off Brotherton's heel and deflects onto the post, and then kindly off the post back into Tambakis' hands.
Kindly is the key word there. Tambakis is just done.
He's beaten all ends up.
Now he's got to go get it, and he's got to be careful not to spill it as he's going to get it, because he kind of just watched it.
Yeah. Here's the change for New York Red Bulls. That little bit of luck that you need, and a little bit of clinicalness just hasn't been there tonight, but there's still time.
Number 47, John Tolkien. Coming in number 66, Janis Loeb.
This is Janis Luba. He's from Germany, so it's spelled L-O-E-B-E, but pronounced Luba.
I'll leave that one to you then.
Yeah, he comes from Fordham, which means he played for Jim McKeldry, who is now the Rutgers coach. And tomorrow morning, I've got Rutgers, Ohio State, led by Jim McKeldry, so I'll get to ask him about him. And Rutgers got off to a 7-0-1 season after a disastrous campaign a year ago, and the Buckeyes only won one game, and they won 5 in a row this year. They're coached by Brian Mazonoff, who's a pretty good former player, represented the USA in the Olympics and the World Cup, played all 3 games in the '98 World Cup.
You're getting spoiled for games at the moment, aren't you, Dean?
No, loving it. Best time of the year, my man. Here is Perez. Perez back over to Abadawi. Abadawi, Dre Fortune got over it. He doesn't do that very often. If you want a guy that will normally put it on frame, it's that guy right there.
Yeah, just got underneath it a little bit there, but great play from Perez here on the right, cutting in, doing what he does best. Abadawi finding the little set pass, and Fortune just leaning back ever so slightly there and getting underneath it.
75th minute.
Back to those 2 banks of 4 for NCFC, which have been trouble to break through.
That's a great point. 2 banks of 4 indeed. Luba gave it up. Stroud never stops running. Absolutely never. He'll fall. He's the court looking for options. Kamsia turned his head, but his foot was in the right space. Coffee right back in. Stroud and Tambakis fingertips it away, and Alex Tambakis keeps it 2-0.
Wow, what a save. Just when they needed him. You know, this is the same last week. They needed him in big moments, and goalkeepers, you know, get quiet for a while, but it was good play. Coffee just nipping in, keeping them on the front foot, finding that little pass to Stroud, and first time finish. Fingertip save, because that might have been creeping in off the inside of the post that time, I feel.
That's what it was last week. The strongest fingers in USL Championship belong to Alex Tambakis. 76th minute. You're feeling the urgency from a very, very good club. New York Red Bulls, too. Very good and reinforced with Buckmaster and Barlow. But it's 2-0 North Carolina FC.
They continue to do the same things. They're believing in their way of playing, and they're not getting away from it. They're still looking for that interplay and then the ball in the box. But NCFC have done a great job of just keeping it at arm's length.
Coffee. Stroud. Coffee, Jean Coffee.
Good defending. Yeah. Goal kick as well. That's that double deflection again there. They've been working on that this week in practice.
There's Alex Kamsia. Actually, I told you I'll work with him for the first time as well on Tuesday when West Virginia, very good team, by the way, Marlon LeBlanc's team, top 25. That'll be a good one at UNC. Have you been over to that new stadium over there? It's fantastic.
I haven't. I'm dying to get out there. Yeah. It looks amazing. A bit of a change up from the last one.
Yeah, huge. Got rid of the track. You're right on top of it. Stephen Miller, as they say, it goes out of bounds. 77th minute.
You might want to check with Mr. Comsier if he's going to be rehabbed and rejuvenated after the performance he's put in today. He's been worked very, very hard.
Yeah, good point. There's Comsia on the touch there to Smith. Smith, as we told you, played for George Kiefer. NC State knocking off Notre Dame 2-0 yesterday. George Kiefer, 2 years, 2 NCAA appearances, and make it 3 in a row. Luba back across. Barlow and Brotherton there again, the 2 former Badgers.
At the moment, it's advantage Brotherton, isn't it?
Indeed. Barlow's been dangerous, but Brotherton's had the final answer, I guess you could say.
They've been paired up all evening. It's another wave of attacks from New York Red Bulls. Doesn't seem to be disappearing.
Taylor finding Abadawi, now Perez. Perez. Taylor.
Many options on the ball for Taylor there, unfortunately, playing it safe. Just getting the New York Red Bulls turn, get the line back up the field a little bit here, and give everyone a few seconds break.
Christo for Iwolo in the first half. Christo answering Iwolo's goal. That's where we are, 2-0. And then Miller coming in for Spies. Dave Sarakin still has a sub to make. Knocked out before it gets to Tambakis. Jean Coffey will push it out wide right. Reese Buckmaster, they call him Rico. Rico, good little touch there to Stroud. Kept alive. Now Jean Coffey again. Stephen Miller. Lima takes it away. 79th minute.
Stephen Miller, they're looking for Christo. I think he's looking for the movement of Donovan Iwolo or the Christo at the end of the game. But
Guillen gets stuck in on Barlow and wins it. Now Miller, fresh legs.
There you go, that's the run they're looking for.
Christo is going to need some blue jerseys to help him out. Now he won't need it. They'll take their time. Throw in. Good effort there from Robbie Christo. He's got the second one. He scored in back-to-back games. He's got 8 goals with Iwolo. Miller's got 9 goals. Miller just gave him the pass, and things are good right now. 80th minute. North Carolina FC feeling good.
Yeah, they was trying to get that sprint from Christo, I think, a moment earlier, Stephen Miller, which really, he's the fresher of the two, so I think Stephen Miller's got to get that Miller time going and get down the left flank, but he then got the run from Christo, that little burst of speed that he's got in his locker, and then they get the ball down here and hopefully can play in the other end of the field for a while. Because there's been one-way traffic the last 15 minutes, and I do feel there's more goals in this game, Dean. I don't know which end. I'm not willing to put my neck out for that one, but I do feel there's at least one more goal in this game, and New York Red Bulls have not changed the way they're playing. They still believe there's goals here for them.
New York Red Bulls, too, looking to make one more sub, Andrew Tate, as they try to find an answer here and get one back. They're going to need to get one before 85 to feel like they can equalize still. Down 2-0. What a huge goal. And then what about a huge save from Tambakis to keep it 2-0.
A little bit late there, I think, from Guillen.
Guillen wearing the captain's armband. And is he going to get a card here? I think.
Here comes the sub.
I saw a card come out, did you?
No, I think it was just talking to maybe his first foul. I think the referee was trying to communicate to him there. Not a great foul to give away, I think. Just the area, the quality on the ball, and a key moment here.
Jean Coffey's going to hustle over. John Womanek gives him a handshake. Ben Mines will come on. So Ben Mines also with the full team. So here come Red Bulls 2. Off the head there of Christo, doing it on both sides of the ball. It'll be a corner kick, New York Red Bulls 2.
Yeah, big time. Focus again, regroup, get everyone doing their jobs. Key moment here.
So John Womanek has used all of his subs. Dave Sarakin still has one in the bag. 82nd minute. Curled around off the head of Christo. Miller, no handball. Miller, good little touch. Miller, can he get to it? No, it goes out of bounds right over in front of the North Carolina FC bench. And now Miller will kick it long.
Got away with that one, I feel.
He did, yeah. Could have been a card, but got the ball boy right there. Let's see, look at the effort here of Miller.
Yeah, that's what you need from the sub, you know, showing that extra bit of hunger, that extra bit of effort to make something of nothing. Yeah, and I think
well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Looked like it skirted the white line there. The whole ball's got to be over it, right?
Absolutely. It's one of those, though. The goal line technology on the goal line is different to the sideline technology. That hasn't come in yet. If there's more than half of the ball out, it tends to get cold.
There you go. 83rd minute, Aaron Guillen. Let's take one more look if that ball ever totally crossed the line. I like the body contact here, too. That touch, oh, yeah, it was out.
I think there might be some hanging over it, Dean. Don't back down now. You stick to your guns.
No, I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong.
That's been a little bit of my, a little bit of a thorn in my side. That the the ball on the sideline being called out when there's more than 50%. But on the goal line, it has to be every single ounce of the ball. You know, not even a shadow can be hanging over the line. So, but we won't get started on that.
Don't forget, next Saturday, the North Carolina Courage back in town for their final regular season game. They will play the semifinals, and if they can get by their semifinal game, the championship game will be played right here late October. Get your tickets now. Meanwhile, for North Carolina FC, they'll be back here on October 19th to take on St. Louis for their final regular season home game. Hope to see you on the 19th for St. Louis FC and North Carolina FC right here at WakeMed Soccer Park.
Great press in there from Al-Badawi. It was a one-man press, and somehow he managed to force Laura to go long there.
Real quick with it. Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season, as the USL is excited to announce that the championship in League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home for all things USL, at least 19 games a year. As Barlow waiting for it, Taylor is there. Will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportives. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Manny Perez, be good to see him go the distance. He has not gone 90 in a long time, as injuries have been an issue for the talented Manny Perez.
Well, quick counter-attack here. Not often we've been able to see that. Here we go.
Going the other way, and another save by Tambakis. Getting low, you see the high five there from Brotherton, and boy, you cannot sleep on this New York Red Bulls team.
No, there's a quick play there, clever. Caught NCFC napping a little bit, he catches a sweet left foot there, and Tambakis is equal to it. That's been the thing for NCFC. Anything they have actually been sweet or been a bit more clinical on. Tambakis has come up big. That on the inside of the post.
So it'll be a corner kick. Lofted ball, Lubil, off of Guillen. Will Dave Sarakin make one more change, if for nothing else, to even manage the clock just a little bit? There's Manny Perez.
Yeah, great play from Perez. Wins the ball back, spins out, and able to play. He's looking for Stephen Miller here.
Miller with Buckmaster there first.
Perez looking good though for the 90. He's been really energetic, and he looks like the player that once we win it, that he can really help NCFC go forward.
Barlow. There's still time here for New York Red Bulls too. Lubil. Good idea, but Lima not on the same page.
Just hasn't been there tonight, that final ball. Now, sometimes I think that the problem when you've got the players coming in and out, as much as you bring these players back, they've not been with you maybe as much as you'd like in practice or in recent games, and sometimes hard to get that rhythm off the mat.
Christo doing it all, including earning a foul and a yellow card here. Robbie Christo has brought the heat tonight.
Yeah, he's a handful. As a former centre-back myself, he's not a player I want to be lining up against, you know. He can bring you in close, he can do you on the run, and here just buying some time, taking the pressure off, drawing 2 tackles and winning the foul there. Little embellishment there too for the judges, I think.
Robbie Christo listed at 205, and with all due respect to Robbie Christo,
I think I know where you're going.
I don't think that's 205 there. Yellow card to Scarlett.
There's a little frustration. I think they were just trying to get the ball back quickly there and didn't really need to make that tackle, as he wasn't going anywhere.
Nazbi Abadawi.
Great tackle.
Scarlett got the yellow card, but came right back with a good tackle. Well said, Andrew Tate. Pushing down forward, Beasacourt. Barlow. Lubil is open. Barlow takes a shot. Goes right into the face of Smith as Smith goes down, and because of the concussion protocol, the referee immediately calls for the trainer.
I think Graham Smith's been fantastic in my team. One of those things, he's usually a player that you see on the ball, you know, linking things and really and really sort of showing the pretty side of the game. But today he's done really, really well. I think this summarises it. Just taking one for the team. Yeah, that just shows the grit that you need in these games against top teams to be big, to be brave, and do the, for lack of a better term, the ugly side of the game.
Right on the chin too.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. But I think he's done the things that go unnoticed, the little things that you need to do to win games and get points. I think he's done really, really well today.
Yeah, phenomenal. Well said. As I told you earlier, played for George Kiefer down at USF, and George always had those dynamic players, had some Jamaicans, some Caribbean players, exciting internationals, and Graham Smith just got the job done there with all that talent around him.
Yeah, I think there we go. Good change for NCFC. I think fresh legs coming in.
So here comes Yamakani Chester and Manny Perez. Brilliant 89 minutes from this young man.
Yeah, I said 90, didn't I? I think I jinxed him there. Not quite going the full 90, but a really, really good display. And I think what we all expected, he delivered tonight, to be honest.
Yeah, now it's just a matter of consistency as well. Now T. Shipolani was honored tonight, right? And you think about wearing that number 11 jersey the way T. Shipolani did. Chester's the same kind of player. He is dynamic, he's electrifying, he'll put his head down, maybe sometimes too long, but he brings those wonderful moments to the game.
Yeah, that's why we all like to turn up, right? The unpredictabilities of it, and Chester, maybe a little bit more consistency in his game would be nice, but I'm a very consistent player, Dean, and I don't think you want to come and watch me play. So. I'll take Yamakani any day of the week.
Yeah, and with a name like Yamakani Chester, you know you got to be good. The hair is there, the smile is there. He's a delightful young man, and I actually talked to him one time at a Courage game. He was there with Duval Wapiwo, and I said, so how old are you? And he said, well, it depends if you're from the national team or if you just want to know. If you're from the national team over in his home country, I'm a little younger.
Yeah.
So good sense of humor there from the young man. I like that answer. And the truth is, I didn't really get an answer, so I have no idea how old he is. Andrew Tate.
Great answer to the question. Right? Answer it with a question.
4 minutes of added time here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated a minimum of 4 minutes of added time.
You would have won that one too, because I would have said 2 or 3. I thought the pace has been a little bit better here. Yeah. Did have a lot of subs and that extra goal. Here is Abadawi into space. Good idea. Know who's on the field. Scarlett's like, no, I don't want to deal with this. Chester, little step over. We called it, and Scarlett handles it. Abadawi. Oh, he got too cute. I think he was thinking about scooping it to Christo as he would try to slide off the shoulder there.
Yeah, just some fatigue setting, I think, there with Abadawi. He set the attack running. You can see him trying to get back into the 2 banks of 4, but I don't think he's going to get there in time here.
Just like that, New York Red Bulls 2. Aaron Guillen there once again, and Alex Tambakis will take his time. Andrew Tate, you set the table early on when you said North Carolina FC against the top teams, they seem to deliver.
Yeah, full credit to them today. I think they've been full value for the 3 points. You know, they've had some luck along the way for sure. I don't think it's been New York Red Bulls 2's best day at the office. It just hasn't quite clicked into gear for them, but you can see on the day what a problem they could be, and another day they could win this game 5-0, you know what I mean? So, but full credit to them for what they put on show today, North Carolina. I think they've worked hard, they've bought into what the managers asked them to do, and at this point, it looks like it's 3 points in the bag.
So good at home, just that one loss to Indy 11, and Robbie Christo as he headed to the corner. Christo gonna head down there. Now he cuts it back inside. Christo wins it back, and it's a corner kick. Robbie Christo doing everything right tonight.
Yeah, he's even refereeing the game. I think telling the linesman what we're going to do. This is the corner. Right? I'm not so sure I agree with him, but he gets the decision and was able to run the clock down even further here.
Chester now come. Oh, I don't know why. To me, if I'm Crystal, all you're seeing is my backside right there, right? Because how do you get through that?
I'm not going to question the big man. You can do that.
I don't think I'd turn. I just let him try to beat on me. Crystal now comes back. here by Fortune. Christo's offside, so we told Fortune not to do it, and that'll be out of bounds off of Fortune. Fortune thought it was his. Just a minute 15 remaining.
I tell you, I thought there was another goal in this game, Dean. So you praised me for a lot of things tonight, but I thought there was another goal, and I'm just, for the last 5-10 minutes, I just don't see it anymore, to be honest.
Fortune had it for a moment. Well, you never know. Kind of a turnover here. Taylor, careful not to totally bite, and Tambakis right at the top of the 18, no problem. Complete performance. Alex Tambakis. You need your goalkeeper, a big save, a half, and certainly that save in the second half as good as the save against Ottawa Fury a week ago.
Jester. He's the last person you want coming on at this time of the game as a defender. When your legs are tired, you've run a lot today, and then you just see the Olympic sprinter coming on.
DJ Taylor. At times he reminds me of DeAndre Yedlin. He keeps getting better as well, becoming a pro.
He's had a question asked of him today up against Stroud, and I think he's won that battle, to be honest. Been really solid. Wow, great tackle.
Christo staying with it. That's what we would see out of Donovan Owolo. So Christo showing that he can do it as well. Waiting for the final whistle here from John Freeman, the man in the middle, and it should be coming here pretty soon. And there it is, final score. North Carolina FC 2, New York Red Bulls 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, one of those days. I think somebody can see it in the early moments that if things aren't quite going, is it going to be our day? And unfortunately for New York Red Bulls, it wasn't. But full credit to North Carolina FC. I thought they were fantastic and full value for the 3 points in their efforts.
Robbie Christo got the second one. I want to thank our crew: Kyle Lang, Joe Ferrara, Savannah Rebel, Colin Thrash, Ian Lang, Brian Ware, Chris Walsh, Curtis Adams, Peter Summers, Tim Arms. A pleasure to work with NCFC youth coach Andrew Tate. I'm Dean Linke. How about North Carolina FC? A 2-0 win over New York Red Bulls 2. The Wolo gets one, Christo gets one. 2-0 North Carolina FC. Thanks for being with us on WRAL2 and ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
My son had been injured and he was prescribed pain opiates. No one ever told us how highly addictive these drugs were. My initial reaction was shock. My son didn't get so deep into the dark, scary woods overnight, and it's no straight line coming back. For parents out there who don't have hope, I realize there's a lot of families that are torn apart, but families can heal. Young people can get better.
There's hope and help at drugfree.org.
I'm Rudy Tempesta. I'm 92 years old. I fought in World War II. Then I came home, worked for the post office for 70 years. I've been getting Meals on Wheels, and I enjoy it. The most important thing about Meals on Wheels is you meet the people, which to me is fantastic. You need people to keep you moving. That's what life is about. It's love and having a conversation with people.
Protect our kids. Protect our communities. Protect our waters. Unused medication poses a deadly risk to our loved ones, and flushing it could impact our environment. There's a way to get rid of leftover medication. It's safe and it's easy. Just toss it in a permanent drop box near you. Operation Medicine Drop. What's in your medicine cabinet?
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
about North Carolina FC? Robbie Christo gets the second goal. Donovan Iwolo gets the first. 3 more points for North Carolina FC. They've already clinched a spot in the USL Championship playoffs. Now they're looking for a higher seed. Another 3 here at WakeMed Soccer Park. And hello, everybody. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with Andrew Tate, a coach for NCFC Youth. And New York Red Bulls, too, all kinds of talent, but North Carolina FC so good at home.
Yeah, it showed again. That record's intact. Another big 4, one of the top 4 teams rolls into town, and North Carolina brings their A game and goes on with 3 points.
All right, let's go to work and show you the highlights in this one. Both teams dangerous in the first half.
Yeah, and it was all down that right-hand side early for New York Red Bulls. This was in the opening few moments of the game, and it was a real kind of warning sign for NCFC, and they slowly got to grips with the game. And Tambakis, solid hands as always, but this was the moment I think they just set them on their way. They scored that first goal. Manny Perez being a pest, getting the wrong side of the defender, and then getting the decision from the referee.
Brilliant ball from Alex Camcia to spring Perez. Perez did the rest, and then Donovan Iwolo from the spot answers it in.
Superb composure. Like I said, I think during the game, have that composure in a moment where you've made a big mess. To finish it out was fantastic.
8th goal of the season. He got injured. Robbie Christo came on. He almost got his 8th goal right here.
Unbelievable save from Loro, though. He didn't have a lot to do, but what he did there was huge to keep his team in the game at that point.
But Christo would have another chance just moments later.
This was great play. Albadai was a much more prominent figure in the second half. Great composure from him. And then Christo hanging out of the penalty spot there, steering the ball home at the near post with an unbelievable finish. Because as you can see, not a lot of space there to work with.
Robbie Christo decides not to go with the mask this time. No yellow card, but the second goal, he almost got the brace here.
Yeah, showing those gentle touches for a big man there, weaving and twisting and trying to steer it past Laura, but another good save from the keeper.
Robbie Christo, complete performance coming on early in the first half and with the distance.
Yeah, and this was a good chance here for the Red Bulls. It was a great, for me, it comes off of Brotherton's foot there, and he was tight to Barlow all night, and he's tight enough there just to get that deflection, and comes up with the inside the post back to the relieved Alex Tambakis.
Yeah, Barlow and Brotherton, the 2 former Badgers, battling the entire time. Tambakis had a great fingertip save, and he gets another win. A well-deserved hug as you take a look at the stats. Possession in favor of the Red Bull, but the win goes to North Carolina FC. I want to thank Kyle Lang and his production crew, my broadcast partner, Andrew Tate. I'm Dean Linke. How about North Carolina FC? A 2-0 win over New York Red Bulls 2.